friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's the citywide special. The Phillies win consecutive series against the Royals and Astros and take the first game of a pivotal series versus the Braves. Taijuan Walker is relegated to the bullpen after another miserable start. Jose Alvarado goes on the restricted list while he deals with personal matters. The team say they expect him back before the end of the season. The Eagles finish the preseason with a loss against the Vikings. Cooper DeJean impresses in his debut, however. James Bradberry suffers a leg injury and will miss 6 to 8 weeks. With the roster set after final cuts, how are we feeling about the squad as they prepare for Week 1 in Brazil against the Packers? All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, Avery?
Doing good. You know, can't complain. It's a nice brisk evening here in Philadelphia. Yesterday was hot and steamy.
Yeah. Hot, steamy, 95.
Yeah.
Don't want no more of that.
Today it feels good. There was a tinge of fall in the air. As you may have guessed, Pat is not here. He's on vacation.
Hip-hop's here, though.
So yeah, hip-hop. Hip-hop's here chilling with the fellas. He's having a good time. He's ready to drop some hot takes on the pod. And Pat, hope you're enjoying Maine. We are questioning your fandom right now. Going to miss episode 76. I mean, our basketball team is the 76ers after all. And you're missing our last pod before the Eagle season starts. So I hope you're enjoying Maine. And just because you're not here doesn't mean we won't rip you.
Yeah. No, taking no prisoners is what it is.
Yeah, even hip-hop's got something to say. But we forgot to give him a mic, so you can't hear him.
Yeah. But, good week. Friday, went to go see The Boss. That was fun.
Yeah, how was that? He played for how long?
Like almost 3 hours. Like
how
just
old is
under.
He?
He's like 75.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's what, I mean, I had seen him, I don't know, I guess like a year and a half ago. And I was kind of like, a little like, is this going to be, I wonder how he's going to be, because he was like, a year ago was like sick, and that's why he missed these shows originally, and I was like, might not still have it, but no, still really fucking good show. Like I said, played for almost 3 hours. Good ass time down at CBP.
Yeah, I was impressed when we were at the Phillies game on, I guess it was Monday, and the field didn't really look that torn up.
Yeah,
you can see a
few little marks out there, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, sometimes after, there's concerts at CBP or even concerts at the Link, you look at that field's ravaged.
Yeah.
It's like someone just rolled around, just took a killdozer to it or something, you know what I mean? But, glad you got to enjoy yourself. We had a nice seafood Sunday. Sunday, made a big pot of gumbo for the family, not the family, not my biological family. They'll get theirs. I don't mean that in a threatening way, but they'll get their
gumbo.
They'll get their gumbo. But yeah, made a nice big pot of gumbo. Bunch of people contributed some food. Trevor, you came through after your fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Fiend League if any of y'all listening. How you feeling about your team in the Fiend League?
All right. Though I was a little disappointed today when the news came through that Brandon Ayuk had finally signed a deal with the Niners, because I drafted Debo pretty high. I was thinking like, he's going to be, target monster without Ayuk, but he'll still be pretty good, but, may have gone with someone else there had I known that he was not going to be traded. But, still pretty solid squad, I'd say, Hopefully, I finished last in that league last year, so there's nowhere to go but up.
Do they do a penalty if you finish last? No?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a new rule instituted this year.
Oh, so you dodged the bullet.
No, well, here's the thing is so in that league, the person who wins the league gets to propose a new rule. And this time, the rule that was proposed is that the person who finished last has to, give write a short little essay and then read it before the following draft about why I suck. And I would say, technically I shouldn't have had to do it because it wasn't a rule last year.
Yeah.
And the incentive to avoid last place was not there. So I didn't really care as much, but I didn't want to be a dick. So I was a good sport and did it anyway.
What did you say about yourself?
I was just talking about how, some of my bad drafting decisions. Like last year I picked I picked Damian Pierce with a very high pick, thinking he was going to be good, and he was ass.
That was defensible last year. I was looking at him in a couple drafts.
Yeah. He was kind of a, I don't know, one of those like fancy podcast hipster picks last year.
I love those.
Yeah. And then I also took Darren Waller last year, thinking he's going to be a big target for the Giants, but no one is safe getting the ball from Daniel Jones. Sorry to all you who have high hopes for Malik Neighbors. I don't know. Not a guy I was targeting this year because of that. So, but I don't know. I said a couple other things. It only had to be like 100 words, so it was just a few sentences. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think next year they should up it to like at least 250 or something, because that was pretty much just like a paragraph.
Yeah, I feel like that's a few sentences. You're done. It's pretty easy to say.
Because at first I was telling people, I was like, all right, I'll do this, but I'm not going to do all the words that you want, because it's like I really shouldn't have to. And I started typing out, and I was like, oh, I'm like 2 sentences. I'm already at 50 words. Like, okay, yeah, the 100's really not that bad.
Yeah, but, I think when it comes to fantasy sports, if you have a bad season, it's pretty easy to say disparaging things about yourself.
Yeah.
The one league I'm in, I've never come in last place in this league, but the loser, like every year this league does a league kickoff party. The loser has to buy all the drinks for like 10 dudes.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, so even if I did come in last...
Is it at like a bar or just...
It's either or. They went to a bar this year.
That's like a big difference in the expense if it's like at a bar, or whether it's, if you have to buy a couple 30-packs or something, that's not that bad. But if you have to pay the bar tab for 10 people, that could be pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah, they sent the bar tab. I think they took it easy on him. It was only like $180.
That's not terrible.
But yeah, you imagine like if it's, if no one's taking it easy, they're just getting fancy drinks. That's expensive.
It's like more shots.
Yeah.
More shots.
Which they do in Baltimore every year, and I couldn't make it because if someone's buying my drinks and I didn't have to drive back from Baltimore, I'm getting bucked, dude. But anyway, yeah, if we got football's on the way, fall's on the way, it's nice out. The Phillies are approaching Red October. I guess we got to get through September first yet. But whatever, we can talk about the Phillies.
Almost September.
Lead off with them.
Yeah, pretty, dare I say, it's, I don't know if, are we ready to say we're back yet? Are we there?
I think so.
I think, two series win against good teams. And then tonight looked really rough for a while. Bats just not... They had getting guys on, not getting them in. Just looked like one of those games. And then, what was it, the 6th inning? They finally broke through. Brandon Marsh is a 3-run home run. And then the next inning, Castellanos hits a 2-run home run to put them ahead. And that was that. They ended up winning the game. Felt like, some of that division series magic against the Braves finally coming back. They've kind of had our number this year, which has been annoying. So it's good to get a nice win against them. But yeah, it's starting to feel like they're starting to look like their old selves, I would say. Starting to come out of this a little bit.
Yeah, it started to turn around in that Royals series, right? They had those couple of 11-run outbursts in a row, which going into that series, I think I was pretty down. Then they lose the first game of that series. I'm really down, right? They can't hit a curveball. I mean, this time last week we were watching them against the Braves. The Braves threw like 50% of the pitches the Braves threw in that game were curveballs, and the Phillies just couldn't hit any. But then in that Royals series, games 2 and 3, something turned around. They learned how to hit an off-speed pitch. Got 17 hits or 23 hits, some absurd number of hits game 2 of that series. Backed it up with 11 runs in game 3. Then come home for the big 2022 World Series rematch against Houston. We were there at the game Monday.
Yeah.
There was a good atmosphere, a good vibe in the air that game, too. They came, I guess they didn't come back, but Harper with the walk-off hit.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, I dare say that was probably one of the best games of the season, I think. I mean, this game tonight was also up there, too. But it does feel like, some of the guys are starting to wake up a little bit. You have Wet Brandon coming out of his slump. He was hitting the ball hard. You had Harper get the walk-off hit. He's yet to hit a dinger. And it feels like 3 weeks, but he's at least making contact. Casty's been on one.
Yeah.
Things are going pretty good, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of Casty, I saw some video of him today where I forget, I don't know who it was. It was something, they were asking him, if you were the commissioner of baseball, what's like one thing you would change? And he was just saying like that there should be some kind of like relegation for like owners. It's like if your team sucks for like too long, you should be forced to sell the team.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Like, and it's like, hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. And then at the end, he's like, well, that would never happen, but yeah.
Hey, Casty for commissioner, dude.
Yeah, man.
Could you imagine?
Save the Athletics.
Or the White Sox.
Yeah.
Some of these teams, the Marlins.
Yeah.
Some of these teams are just perpetually garbage.
Get fucking Derek Jeter out of there.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he has ownership.
I think he has like a pretty big stake in the Marlins, yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they do need to get him out of there. He's been part-time owner for them, or partial owner. I shouldn't say part-time. Partial owner for them for some time now.
Yeah, I think like since they built that new stadium, he was like part of the, I don't know, ownership group.
That stadium's at least like 10 years old.
Yeah, it's been a while. Remember when they had that fucking statue? I'm so pissed they got rid of that.
What statue?
That like monstrosity that would go off when they hit a home run.
What did it look like?
It was in like center. It was just this like huge, like crazy, colorful thing with all like these like fish and stuff in it. I can't believe you don't remember what I'm talking about.
I think I.
It was like really like hideous, but kind of awesome in like a funny way. And then it would like light up and like.
Why do I not
like
remember
dolphins
this?
would like jump around or whatever and they don't run.
Okay, once you said the dolphins jumping, I remember this.
It was just like so big and weird.
They were trying to, I guess, imitate the Mets with the apple.
Yeah, it was a similar type of thing. Yeah. But then they got rid of it after a few years because it was just so ridiculous. But I was like, damn, that's like kind of gave that stadium a little bit of character.
I mean,
it's like they still can't get anyone to come to those fucking games.
Yeah, that's the thing. With the Mets, they can still at least get people to come to some of the games to watch the apple go up and down. No one's going to Marlins games.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, dude. My like dream scenario for the future for baseball and for U.S. foreign policy would be first we normalize relations with Cuba, end the embargo, and then move the Marlins to Havana.
That'd be cool.
Dude, that would be so sick. Because Florida does not deserve to have that team. It's very clear. Like, nobody cares. They never draw.
Plus, baseball's huge in Cuba.
They haven't been good since they first became a team in, like, 96 or whatever, when they won, like, a World Series in 97. With Darren Dalton playing first base, by the way.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah, but, dude, that'd be so sick.
Yeah, Cuba would love to have a baseball team.
Yeah.
No, that's never going to happen. But that would be awesome.
That's never going to happen. Like that's like my the owner should be forced to sell the team sort of fantasy. But that would be cool. I mean, we got like team in Toronto. Why not have one in some other country that's close by?
Maybe
Mexico City.
Dude, maybe they even do one in Puerto Rico. I know it's not another country, but it's a U.S. territory. Give them a team.
Puerto Rico, that'd be cool.
It shouldn't even be a territory, but that's a different discussion for a different day.
Yeah, they should get statehood. Get another 2 Senate seats in there.
Hey, if you listen to the Republicans, the conservatives, they think that's going to happen, dude. I don't think that happens, but
what
that Puerto Rico gets statehood.
Oh, because they want to do it, or they
no, because they're afraid it's going to happen because then they'll give the Democrats 2 more seats.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why the Democrats should be trying to do it.
But I don't think they're trying. But whatever. We're not trying to get all political. We're talking about the fightings here. The fightings. Said. What else we got? Oh, so this series against the Braves. After this victory today, they're 4-6 against the Braves. They're 6 games up. I was going into this game, feeling pretty good on the panic meter. I had gotten back down to about, we'll call it a 5. Mm-hmm. And then when they were down 4-0, I was going back up on the panic meter. I was back up on a 6.
Yeah.
But then they came back and won that game, so I'm back down to a 4.5. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'd say I'm probably looking at like a 3, like a normal.
3?
Yeah.
Damn, you really dropped. It's like you were always only at like a 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think at my peak I was at 5.
Oops.
But yeah, I mean, it always was just like a matter of like when are they going to come out of it, and it was starting to get a little scary there because it felt like this is a little bit more than just a slump. Like they've kind of been bad for quite a while now. But yeah, feeling pretty good now. It's and it it seems like the timing could be good. Hopefully, they keep this going for another through October. But it seems like they might be getting hot at the right time. Hopefully, it's that works out. But yeah, I mean, like going into the series, I mean they've won the first game, but I feel like going into this Braves series, I was kind of like, well, if they like win 3 out of 4, or like maybe if like they swept or whatever, like either of those two, I'd be like, okay, this is like very good scenario. We're pretty much buried the Braves. Don't have to worry about that. And then if they like split the series, that would be an acceptable outcome.
Yeah.
At that point, it'd probably there's very, very little chance they could catch us at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we had lost the series, then you're kind of like panicking because then you could potentially be like 3 games back or something.
Yeah.
But after tonight, I'm feeling pretty good. Hoping they can continue to finish the series strong. And worst case scenario, split 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Hopefully, get more than that.
Yeah, I think I would take splitting the series. Anything less than that, it's obviously unacceptable, especially at this point. Once you won the first game, you go out and lose the next 3, then I'm back to a 6 or a 7 on the panic meter. But, yeah, I mean, this is their chance to really bury them and end the division race once and for all, right? You figure you win 3 out of 4, then you're up, 8 games, 9 games on them?
We're up 6 now, so...
So 8 games if you win 3 out of 4. Right, you win the next 2.
7. Well, they'd be down to 7.
Oh, you'd be down
so
to 7.
They would go
yeah,
up 7, 8, and then back to 7.
yeah. Well, either way,
yeah.
I would take a
7-game
lead
this late in the season would be pretty. It would take a pretty epic collapse for them to blow that. So.
Yeah. So, give me that. I'm content, and then we'll move on to bigger and better things. What else happened? Some other stuff, interesting stuff happened in the week that was.
Yeah, Taiwan Walker.
Yeah, let's start with him.
Yeah, let's talk about the bad. We'll talk about the bad a little bit.
Yeah, he made me look bad. Remember my solo pod?
Yeah.
This was probably the worst. Pat's had some terrible takes on this podcast. Me saying that I was excited for Taiwan Walker to come back is probably the worst take in the history of this pod.
Yeah, it's pretty egregious. You have to come up with some really hot, steaming, good ones to make up for it.
Yeah, I was... What did I say a couple weeks ago? 97% of the time I'm right.
Yeah, that was a glaring
3% of the time I'm wrong. That should be 10% of the time I'm wrong just because of how wrong I was on that one. But yeah, he's just... I don't know how he's still even on the Major League... Well, I do know how, but
yeah,
he shouldn't be on the Major League roster.
Yeah, I mean, that could be... I wouldn't be surprised if that's the last start that we see him, because you figure by this point next year, Andrew Painter's going to be taking a spot in the rotation. I don't know where there's going to be room for him. He might just be the... I feel like from this point on, he's just going to kind of be that like long man, mop-up duty guy out of the bullpen and maybe make a spot start here and there if they have injuries. But it's hard to imagine that he's going to get back to having a regular spot in the rotation for the next, I don't know, what's he under contract for? 2 more years?
2 more years. 4 years, $72 million. Just outrageous that you're going to have a long reliever making, what is that, $18 million a year?
Yeah.
Per year? That's insane, but does kind of seem like that's where they're headed. This is from Matt Gelb of The Athletic, wrote about it. When did he? Oh, he wrote about this today. I've got so much stuff pulled up here. So, what did he say? So maybe the Phillies can kick the can down the road. Rosters expand on Sunday, and the club could hide Walker as a mop-up man for a month. They did not consider him for a bullpen role last October because there was concern Walker would not be able to adapt to a quicker routine. If the Phillies want to try this all again next season, this is what they will do. They can hide him. They can manage with 13 other pitchers in September. He goes on to say, talking about if they were to just designate him for assignment and just outright release him, they'd be paying him $36 million to go away.
Yeah.
Which Gelb goes on to say the most money ever eaten on a straight release was $48.3 million. That's what the Red Sox paid Pablo Sandoval to not play for them in 2017. Dombrowski did not sign Sandoval to that deal, but he ran the Red Sox when they released him. So Dombrowski's done this before.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's going to need ownership's permission for this kind of thing.
Right.
But at the same time, Walker, it goes on to say, Walker could not miss bats Wednesday. The 13 hits allowed were the most by a Phillies pitcher since 2015 when Aaron Harang, remember him?
Yeah.
He was butt, dude. Surrendered 14. No Phillies pitcher had gone 6 innings without a single strikeout since Ben Lively was actually pitching pretty good for Cleveland. In 2017, the plan Walker said was to induce early contact. My ass, dude. The plan was that you're washed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of money to eat, but I feel like if there is an owner that'd be willing to just say, fuck it, it is John Middleton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't, to his, obviously, don't want to sing the praises of baseball owners too often, but I will say he is kind of like a fuck it, just empty the truck. Like, he doesn't really seem to care what he has to spend kind of guy, so wouldn't shock me if he's just, this is like, yeah, fuck it, like, we'll eat that money. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you raised a good point with the Andrew Painter thing that I didn't really consider. I mean, hypothetically, he's ready come start of the season next year or shortly after it. He's probably not going to be able to pitch a full season, first season coming off Tommy John, and he's a prospect anyway, more or less. But, yeah, I mean, you figure between him, Tyler Phillips, and my boy Kobe Allard, the 3 of them could hold down a 5 spot. You have Wheeler, Nola, Ranger, and Sanchez are locked in. You don't really need Walker.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, yeah, you can just, like, rotate some guys in there, do some bullpen games. I mean, like, the 5th starter is becoming less and less of an important role in baseball every year, it seems. So, yeah, it's hard to imagine them really feeling the need to, like, give him that fifth spot, even if even if Andrew Painter can't get through a whole season with the starter workload and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you figure maybe Mick Abel figures it out next year. They'll have plenty of options, I guess is the point.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. For some reason, I have a bad feeling that they're just going to try to run it back. Topper did say as much when the media asked him about it today. So here's what Topper said. This was kind of discouraging. Phillies manager Rob Thompson said the organization still believes Walker can return to being a capable innings eater in 2025. Why? The program that he was on to try and gain velocity, we didn't have enough time. Like, that program's a long program, and we sort of cut the program off early. I think if he has a full offseason of that program, we have a better chance of seeing some improvement. And then the article, this is again Matt Gelb, goes on to say, the Phillies had Walker on a weighted ball program while he spent almost 6 weeks on the injured list with a blister. How the hell does a blister take 6 weeks to heal? This isn't Gelb. This is me editorializing. They're just making up excuses for this guy. Walker saw some small gains from it. He was happier with the shape of his splitter, pitch that he never found in 2024. All of this is to say, teams do not release pitchers who have even the slightest chance of being effective starters in the majors. So they're still, for some stupid reason, after the guy showed you towards the end of last season, all season this season, he's not a competent MLB starter. They're still holding out hope. He's going to be a year older, a year more washed, a year more disgruntled.
Yeah.
I'm done.
How old is he?
That is a good question. Let's see. How old is Taijuan Walker? Where's his baseball reference page? He's got to be in his 30s. I'm going to say he's...
I say he's 31.
32? Oh, baseball reference is taking a little while to load. This isn't great podcasting. Yeah. I should have had this pulled up ahead of time. Oh, it's taking forever to load. We'll probably just have to pretend that he's 32.
Old enough, But yeah. I mean, I guess I can understand that because it's like
Oh, I'm good. He just turned 32. He turned 32 August 13th.
Okay, sounds pretty close with the 31.
Yeah. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can understand them holding out some hope. It's to figure like maybe he gets, with like a full off season and he gets some of his velocity back. I don't know why why that would happen.
He's not usually younger.
Something. Yeah, exactly. That's not usually something that happens as you get older. But Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm done with him. I was done with him last year when he was getting all worked up when he wasn't pitching in the playoffs. You remember that?
Yeah.
He was on Twitter complaining about it. I was getting all worked up then. Then he makes me look bad when I say I'm excited for him to come back.
Yeah, which is like another thing that, if they're trying to decide whether to stick around with this guy or just cut their losses, it's not, I can understand if he was, this important locker room guy,
right,
and like had this like veteran presence with the team and like someone that like the other younger players could like learn from and that kind of stuff. But he does not seem to be that. So I don't know. Yeah. Don't see a lot of positives.
Yeah, he ain't Garrett Stubbs, right?
No.
Garrett Stubbs is diminutive. Every now and again, he's capable of a
almost
good game.
Hit for the cycle.
He did. Yeah, that game was pretty dope, actually.
Dude, it was hilarious how he got hit by a pitch the last at bat. It's like they just not want to give it to him. Didn't want to risk him hitting that home run.
I mean, that'd be pretty embarrassing, to be honest.
Oh yeah, dude. If you gave up the cycle to Garrett Stubbs, yeah, that would have been fucking legendary.
Yeah, but he's a great vibes guy, even though he's not the best MLB player. But Taijuan Walker, the vibes with that guy just stink, dude.
Who was the one guy that hit? Didn't Benji Molina hit for the cycle once?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember watching him try to run for the triple. He looked like he was going to pass out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny. That was like, I feel like Garrett Stubbs about as improbable as someone like that getting the cycle.
Yeah, I mean, for Garrett Stubbs, it's the home run.
It's the home run. Yeah, so he has like no power.
Yeah, he can't hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
Could you? That would have been fun. Especially, who hit for the cycle recently?
Weston Wilson.
That's right. Yeah,
you have couple episodes
two
ago.
Improbable guys on the same team to hit for the cycle in the year. That'd be cool.
Pretty cool. Two bench guys.
But thinking of people with bad vibes that were overpaid in Philadelphia, I came to the conclusion that Taijuan Walker kind of reminds me of Carson Wentz. Is that a weird comp?
A little bit. I mean,
cross-sport comp.
Well, he was never anywhere near the level that Wentz was at his peak.
That's true.
Like, Taijuan Walker would have had to have been like a no doubt number one ace, and then just completely fallen off. That would make sense. But I don't know who trying to think the football equivalent of like a guy who is like a middle of the pack quarterback who just became terrible.
I can't think of anyone on the Eagles.
Sam Bradford, maybe.
Yeah, that's actually like pretty good. Although I don't know if Sam Bradford was ever a bad vibes guy.
I saw it today. Someone posted, it was like, it's been 9 years since that preseason game with Sam Bradford
against the
Packers. Against the Packers.
Oh, against the Packers. I thought it was
the Packers where it was like he scored like 4 touchdowns or whatever, and it was like, this offense is going to be insane. Like Sam Bradford, we finally got our quarterback. Like, all trust in Sam Bradford. This is going to rule. And then, like, nope. Not even close.
Yeah, that 2015, that was a really bad season. That was Chip Kelly's last year.
I think, that was when it was, I think that was when people were like, oh, Chip Kelly is, like, really something here.
Yeah, that was like, a demoralizing
dangerous
season.
In the preseason. But,
Yeah, that was hard.
Sammy Sleeves, baby.
Sam Bradford.
Ugh.
But I guess one other bit of Phillies news, we've alluded to the Eagles talk. Jose Alvarado on the restricted list. That was interesting. I mean,
dealing with some person. I'm guessing it has something to do with his family in Venezuela.
I thought it might have just been like mental health because he's been so bad lately.
Maybe.
Could be a combination, right? Like maybe he's been bad because his mental health has been bad because he's worried about his family in Venezuela. I don't know. It's not our job to hypothesize what it is.
Who knows? Yeah, you can't really speculate about that kind of stuff. But they did say they expect him back before the end of the year, and maybe, I don't know, I guess best case scenario, whatever it is that he's dealing with, maybe he deals with it and clears his head and comes back being able to throw strikes.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I could hear Pat now. It's like, man, fuck that guy. He's still a bitch.
yeah, totally. Like, man, who cares about Venezuela, man? You're in the major leagues, man. You gotta be throwing that ball.
You gotta lose some weight and throw a strike.
Game's a game, man.
But no, I mean, I hope he gets it together because obviously the Phillies could really use a lefty power pitcher.
Yeah.
And when he's at his best, he's one of the most unhittable pitchers in the majors. And when you get in the playoffs, you need that. I mean, not to say Strahm can't carry the load because Strahm tonight was nails, but I mean, the more lefty relievers you can have out of the pen throwing gas in the playoffs, the better. So hopefully things are okay with him. He comes back throwing strikes and dealing. And he's also a good vibes guy. I like Jose Alvarado.
I love Alvarado.
When he was making the chickens.
He's like one of my favorite. Yeah, with the chickens with the towels. With the little. Yeah.
Was he the one doing the friendship bracelets? Was that him?
Maybe. Yeah, I feel like that was either him or Stubbs.
Yeah, I think that was him.
I think it was Alvarado. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, no, he's a great vibes guy. Love, yeah. Big fan of Alvarado. Just hope he gets it together by the time the playoffs roll around.
Yeah. All right, I think that is it. That's everything I have written down.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got to talk about this.
Thing.
When we were at the game and we were perched up in the above Ashburn Alley.
Deck, yeah.
Yeah, when we saw that kid that was all excited about the Galapagos gang, and they were just being so just inconsiderate to this kid, just blowing him off.
I mean, I think it's probably pretty hard to see out of those things. May have been in the... I mean, Are
there people in there?
What do you think's in there?
Well, I don't know if it's remote control.
No, it's definitely people.
Then how do they do like all these tricks where they stand on their head and stuff?
I think they can like flip themselves over. So like when the suit looks like it's standing on their head, they're actually still upright. They're able, because like the suit is so like they're big inflatable. I think they can kind of turn the suit upside down so that they can just kind of, they're not actually like standing on their head when they do that. They're like on their feet jumping around. It looks like they're The
physics is that doesn't make sense. How do they turn the whole suit 180 degrees while they're still standing on their feet?
I don't know. They're big spacious suits. They're like, just like big and inflatable, There's a lot of room in there. And maybe the people that are inside it are very small and slender.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're super like small,
like
slender.
Little,
maybe they're gymnasts. Maybe they're
exactly.
Maybe they're little Simone Biles types, like really athletic.
That's because like the professional career of a gymnast is pretty short. So once you retire,
that's true.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna become one of the Galapagos gang.
That's true.
And blow off little kids trying to get a
dude, I felt so bad for that kid. You remember that?
Eventually, it was noticed.
He was going from one to the next, and they were just all ignoring him.
Yeah, do you like the Galapagos gang?
I'm indifferent.
I think they're pretty funny. I like the yellow one, the weird one.
Oh, Iggy?
Is that Iggy? Is it
Iggy the iguana? I think.
Yeah. There's Iggy. There's Sid. That's like kind of the like groundhog looking thing or whatever the fuck it is.
I don't remember their
and
names. I just remember
Bessie is like
okay, yeah.
And then what's the other one? I forget. There's 4 of them, I think.
Yeah, there's 4. I don't remember their names. I just remember Iggy because I saw him on his head the other day.
Yeah, I think Iggy's the most popular one.
Iggy's the one that Frank punched. So, I told this story when we were getting ready for the game. We were hanging out before the game. So this must have been the Phillies' 2016 home opener. I left work early. I was there with a coworker, and this was like 7 or 8 years ago, before selling liquor at ball games was really a thing in Philadelphia for obvious reasons. And this was the first season that they were selling them, and you could buy rum and cokes.
Yeah.
In like these mason jars, and they would fill them pretty good. They were expensive, but you're getting your money's worth out of it. So I'm there with my coworker Frank, who I don't think listens to this pod, and people I work with that listen to this pod probably don't know who he is. But anyway, Frank's a good dude, and he drank about 3 rum and cokes real quick. So me and him are wandering Ashburn Alley, and he's a little toasty, and Iggy gets pretty close to him and actually, like, I guess tries to scare him. And Frank's a little liquored up, turns around and whop, hooks Iggy hard, dude. And then, like, I'm not paying attention. He comes up to me. He's like, dude, we got to go. I just punched the Galapagos gang hard as hell. So, yeah, I mean, I can understand why Frank punched him if he had seen Iggy or whoever mistreat these poor kids before, they had it coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Philly Fanatics is the OG mascot. The others are all fakes, in my opinion, which is why I'm only indifferent on the Galapagos gang. I can't say I like them that much. And seeing the way they treated that poor kid, hey kid, I know you're probably not listening. I hope you're not, but hopefully your parents are. I'm with you. I see you. I respect you.
Yeah, I think they're pretty funny. I don't mind them. You get a good view of all their antics from that little rooftop deck.
That is true. That's crazy that they just hang out there.
Yeah, for the most part. I guess because they can't, they need, room.
That's true.
Because the suits are so big and, they can't really, walk down the aisles and shit. So I guess the Fanatic suit's pretty big, too.
But, yeah, they probably wouldn't be able to walk down the aisles. You're right.
Yeah.
They could walk around the entire concourse, but that's probably cumbersome.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of which, I saw Chewbacca because we were there for Star
Wars night. I kept forgetting that's what it was. And every once in a while I would see some guy dressed up as a Jedi or something. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? It's like, oh yeah, that's right. It's Star Wars night.
Which there wasn't really a whole lot of... Oh no, you know what? They did have where those people came out on the field in Star Wars costumes and walked around the warning track.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that.
For some reason, I don't really know what that was all about.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't any, skits with the Fanatic or anything.
That's usually a thing.
Yeah, they'd, dress up the Fanatic as some Star Wars character or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Fanatic doesn't support Star Wars. He doesn't like George Lucas, I guess. But Chewbacca was large, dude, when I was walking around. Chewbacca was 8 feet tall. I didn't think he was going to be that tall. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He's an alien. He's not from here.
No.
But, all right. I think I'm done with my Phillies takes.
I think that just about does it for the Phils.
What else? We got the Birds. We don't really have anything else.
There's really nothing going on with the Flyers or the Sixers.
I mean, I guess the Sixers... Did you see this thing came out about the stadium? The arena?
Oh, yeah.
It's a 400-page document.
Yeah, I kind of... I saw a couple people posting the highlights of it, and I was like, I kind of would like to dig into this and read the whole thing. I was like, oh, never mind, I'm not going to read all that.
400 pages?
Yeah, too long, didn't read. But it did seem pretty damning compared to the report that the Sixers paid to make it sound really good.
Yeah,
it's just maybe this is not such a good idea.
Yeah, leave it to a billionaire like Josh Harris to paint everything as pristine as possible.
Well, you know what I was thinking about? So, we haven't discussed this yet, but that the Wells Fargo Center, after this year, will no longer be the Wells Fargo Center. They're dropping...
Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about this.
Wells Fargo is dropping the, their sponsorship or whatever, and they're going to have to find a new thing. So, what I thought would be a good move for them would be... Because, obviously Comcast Spectacor, the owners of the Flyers and of the Wells Fargo Center, are, a little annoyed that the Sixers are trying to leave and get their own arena somewhere and all this kind of stuff. Their one big tenant is going to leave. So I thought what they should do is kind of do some renovations, which I guess they've been doing for a while, and revamp it a little bit, give it some little pizzazz, and then have a big old ceremony, be like, all right, welcome to the new arena, 76th place. They just take the name and are like, you can't have the new arena because we already built the new arena inside the old arena. Checkmate, motherfuckers. And then, they're like, fuck. Josh Harris.
They stole the name.
Josh Harris's head just explodes in fucking Scanners.
That is a good idea.
Just do the double cross.
Yeah, you can't call your arena the 76th place if we already called it that and take the name right.
Just the home of the Philadelphia Flyers, 76th place.
Hey, I'm here for it.
Yeah, dude.
I guess we've talked about our opinions on the new arena before.
Yeah, I mean, I was lukewarm sort of for it, kind of ambivalent, and now I'm kind of it's probably not the best idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, I guess it's just like, I don't know. I just like don't understand real estate, I guess. Cause like the whole like, oh, this is going to like negatively affect like Chinatown. I was like, I don't really understand that. Cause it's like not really, it's like on Market Street, blah, blah. But I don't know. I guess I'll trust the 400-page thing that says it actually will be bad for Chinatown. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess they just gotta find like different sort of things to do in Market East, because I do feel like Market East needs something, because like the gallery or like whatever the fashion district now,
yeah,
it's like, you know, it's fine for what it is, but the thing is it closes really early. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, there's just like not anything going on there. It's kind of like a ghost town at night, and they just like need, I don't know, they just need like something going on there.
Yeah,
but like I can understand why like the arena, you know, is like not, you know, it's essentially like the jobs it creates are all like temporary and shitty. It's just like, you know, shitty jobs from Aramark selling concessions or whatever that aren't all year round. And then I don't know, you know, hopefully they can figure out something to do with that area that'll be positive for everybody, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of land up there, right? There's plenty of space. Yeah. Office buildings, entertainment space, whatever have you. There are a couple places in the gallery that are cool. The movie theater, it's cool.
I mean, honestly,
the
like,
arcade's cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like walking through there, it's, I mean, they got like I don't know. I mean, I guess the other thing is that like shopping malls are just kind of becoming like an obsolete thing.
Yeah, malls are a thing of the 90s, dude.
Yeah, it's just, you know, brick and mortar retail is not exactly a booming industry, but like there is some cool stuff in there, and they got like little food court. It would just be nice if there was some shit in there, I guess, besides the movie theater.
The arcade's
that would stay
cool,
open later.
But the arcade doesn't stay open late. Yeah,
it's just like, because, I mean, and it takes up like, what, like 2 or 3 whole fucking blocks?
I think it's
and
3
it shuts
blocks,
down at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's like so much space that's just nothing's going on all night. It's, you know, it's just not great.
I mean, it probably just has to be a bunch of bars and nightclubs.
Yeah,
quite
honestly,
frankly.
yeah. Just some
that's
restaurants.
What it needs
I feel like the only thing that fucking does good in this town are fucking restaurants.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, I guess even the bars that would be around there, I probably wouldn't frequent them. Maybe I would. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Because, I mean, you figure, like, because you think about it, like, I remember back when I still lived in Jersey, you take the Patco home at night, it would be packed with people.
Oh, hell yeah.
But they're all of them are going to, like, Old City.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, you know, it would be nice if, like, people get off at 8th and Market and there's, like, shit there to do, too.
Yeah, that is kind of, it's a dead area because...
It's, like, weird. It's, like, a weird little dead zone.
Because, yeah, you can get off at 15th, 16th, and Locust. You're near everything.
Then you're in, like, right in Center City. Yeah.
You get off 8th and Market. What's the other one? 12th, 13th, and Locust. You're still kind of pretty close to stuff.
They're opening that new one, too, at Franklin Square.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be, like, even close. I guess that'll be the one that people will get off now to go to Old City.
Yeah. But, yeah, I guess 8th and Market, there ain't nothing there. We should get into urban planning, man. We should figure something out.
Yeah. Become urbanists.
It's never too late to pick up a new profession.
Yeah.
But
I am like kind of dreading the idea that they're gonna just fucking move to Camden though.
Yeah. That would suck. Yeah. Even though I felt all along that's the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
That would suck. Imagine having to go to Jersey to go to a game. And then they'll be the Philadelphia 76ers that play in Jersey.
Yeah, because
I don't want to be one of those teams.
I know, right? Like I've always liked to be able to make fun of other teams for not playing in the city that their name is. Like the Atlanta Braves are like, nope, you're not the Atlanta Braves. You're the Cobb County Braves, motherfucker. Like, you're not the New York Giants. You're the New Jersey Giants.
The Jets.
The Jets, also the Jersey Jets. Which actually, they should just be the Jersey Jets. That kind of sounds cool.
I feel like they were at one. I think back in the day they were, like a long time ago. I don't know.
JJ's,
I might be
Jets.
making that up.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, I feel like it's like most fucking teams don't actually play in the city.
Yeah, I mean, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. that's an oxymoron, dude. That doesn't make any sense.
Anaheim.
Yeah. I could. Plus, how are we going to get to a game from Philly to Jersey to Camden?
I mean, you'd probably be able to take the Patco.
That's going to be
I'm guessing
such
it would
an
be probably
inconvenience.
next to their practice facility,
which isn't.
I guess
what I would do?
I guess the one cool thing would be if they have a little ferry.
That's what I was gonna say, dude. I would take the boat.
Have you ever taken the ferry to the Tweeter Center?
No, I haven't.
It's called now. I did that one time. It's pretty cool because it takes you like right there.
That'd be the one silver lining to all of this, dude.
Yeah, because it was much nicer than having to take Patco to there because like you still got to walk a little bit to get there, and you got to walk through a bunch of like shitty parking lots and stuff. Where the ferry, it's just like takes you like right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want them to move to Camden, but it would be cool to except in the dead of winter.
Boat, yeah.
That would suck. You're going to a game in January, it's all cold and windy on the water.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. Because, we're going to the Tweeter Center. That's like a summer
you're going
thing.
in spring and summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Sixers don't move to Jersey. I'll be damned. But you know what? None of this is going to happen for the next 7 years anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be, by the time, like... It'll be Embiid will be well retired by the time any of this shit happens.
Yeah, I mean Maxey will be 30.
Maxey will be the elder statesman of the team if he's still on the fucking team.
That's
like
wild.
Who knows?
I think he will be.
Yeah. I like the idea that he'd be a Sixers lifer. But
time capsule in 7 years, episode 76 of the pod. We'll have to come back and listen to it and relive this moment where Trevor and I are just sitting here talking about Tyrese Maxey when he's 30 and Embiid's retired and he's damn near 40. That'll be a good time. But, all right. Nice little tangent there. Yeah. Or not even a tangent. That was relevant.
No,
we haven't talked about that.
Sports talk.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't really talked about renaming the arena, and I feel like we haven't had any discussions about this in a while. Yeah. It's going to be ongoing for the next 7 years, you know what I mean? So... it'll be worth bringing up every now and again.
Yeah.
But the Birds. Season starts next week.
Birds. Yeah, man.
I don't know. I guess this isn't official yet.
I didn't catch any of that last game, really. But
I watched most of it. It was bad.
Yeah, it sounded pretty bad.
The third preseason game is
I saw some highlights of Cooper DeJean that looked pretty good. He looked like he was pretty effective.
He was great on the blitz. He got to fair catch a couple punts. I think he got to make one punt return. He picked up a couple yards. It's just good to see him out there.
Yeah.
This is your second round pick. You kind of expect him to show a little bit in preseason, but he was hurt all of preseason.
Oh, speaking of Cooper DeJean, I saw like on Twitter, I guess this was from the official like Eagles account that was like doing some kind of, I don't know, you enter to win this contest thing, and the prize was to spend a night axe throwing with Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. I feel like I have to look that up again just to make sure that's real, because it almost sounds like a parody thing, but it is like so funny that doing like the, that sort of activity with the two white secondary
players.
Yeah. Go have craft beers and axe throwing with Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship.
I think I read an article, I think it was on The Athletic from Brooks Kubena, that said like they've become boys, which I guess makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
They're the only two white guys in the secondary. Yeah. They probably are going to become boys, but imagine, what else do you think you do? You probably go have craft beers, some steak. Here's what the night would be.
Yeah, go to the gastro pub.
Yeah, you'd go to the gastro pub, have a couple beers. You'd go to Fogo de Chao, eat a bunch of steak and meat. Then you go throw some axes.
Yeah,
that would be the night. That actually doesn't sound that bad, to be honest.
Go to Fido. Cap off the night at Fido.
That's where it gets bad. The first 3 stops would actually be pretty cool. Yeah. But when you go to Fido, it's, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you lose me.
Yeah. Cooper DeJean is being placed on the IR after getting into a bar fight at Fido at closing time.
He got caught in an awkward position again.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine? Dude, I can't believe that.
Remember the one time we went there and like, I lasted like 15 minutes. And then I went over to McGlinchey's. I was like, I'll see you guys later.
I remember we went and met up with you, but yeah. That night wasn't...
Well, that was the night we were just trying to go to the shittiest bars we could think of. I don't know. I can't remember where else we went.
But was that the night we went to the hotel bars in Center City? No, that was a different night.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We
were trying to just go to like shitty bars, and I don't remember the other ones, but I just remember Fido because it was like the crown jewel of shitty bars.
Oh, it was especially shitty. Ugh. Yeah. Josh almost got into a fight.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about. He was like,
we had to throw him in a cab.
Yeah. What happened with that exactly?
So it was towards the end of the night, and Josh is good and liquored up. Shout out, Josh. I know you're listening. And he's good and liquored up towards the end of the night, goes to the bathroom, and I guess him and this bro were just not gelling or whatever. So the guy, to this day, my understanding of the story from the guy that Josh was fucking with was Josh was like talking shit to him and was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get my boys. And then Josh comes out of the bathroom and is talking to me, and the kid walks up to me, is like, points at Josh. He's like, are you his boys? I'm like, yeah, what's up, dude? It's like he came into the bathroom and started tapping me on the shoulder while I was pissing and started screaming at me. And then he said he was gonna get his boys. Are you his boys? I'm like, yeah, what's up? That's not a big deal. Like, I'm his boys. It's like, oh, he starts going off. And then this guy's friend comes up and he's like, yeah, don't listen to him, man. He gets drunk and gets like this a lot. But then Josh started getting worked up. He's like, yeah, pussy.
I like how both groups had their version of the guy who gets drunk and causes trouble. Or like you and then that guy's friend are both just like, no, don't worry. Like, just, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I mean, I would much rather have Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship in my quarter than that guy's boys, or even me.
Yeah,
I'd rather have a couple professional NFL players.
What's the word I'm looking for? No, like, diss to Josh or anything, but I'd rather have a football player in my corner.
Yep.
To defend me. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Cooper DeJean. No shout out to the rest of that football game. It was terrible. I'm ready for real football.
Yeah, ready to see some starters.
So, are we recording at the Cusp next week?
I guess so. I don't see why not.
Okay.
I haven't really talked to them, but
it'll probably be all right.
I mentioned it to one of the owners when he was really drunk, and he was very enthusiastic about the idea.
All right.
So if we just have to get there and just get early enough to claim a table, and I think it's fine.
And we're gonna record a post-game pod.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the game.
We won't record during the game.
Nah, that'll be too complicated.
Yeah. Plus, I'll be trying to enjoy myself. Damn, we're gonna be liquored up for a post-game. Ooh.
Yeah, it should be fun.
My parents, if you're listening, I apologize in advance. I'm not responsible for anything. It's like, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess about that game. Game 1 of the season coming up.
Have you heard about, apparently in Brazil, there's been, near where they are, there's been like wildfires and stuff, and they've been told to like stay inside there because like the air quality is bad.
Oh my God. It's an outdoor arena?
I would assume so.
Oh, no, I didn't know this.
Yeah. It sounds like it's been a pretty miserable experience for the teams, honestly.
They're not there now, are they? They're probably flying down.
Yeah, I don't think they're there yet.
But it sounds like it's gonna be miserable.
But yeah,
I mean, they won't be able to like leave their hotels unless they're going to practice, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, what is this about wearing green? Is
is
that really a thing?
It's not. I don't think it's something that they're going to have to worry about because it's like not a. So the stadium that they're playing in is a soccer team. I think it's like Corinthians is the team, and their big rival, where their color is green. So to avoid like fights from breaking out and shit, like you're typically like not allowed to wear any green in the stadium.
I see.
But like they're not going to care about that for a fucking like this isn't a soccer game. It's the NFL.
Yeah,
it's like a special thing.
Okay, so that's much.
So
yeah,
people keep talking about that, but it's like it's not a thing. It's not going to actually matter in this context.
Gotcha. But the wildfires that could go wreak some havoc on everything, though.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, I guess as far as the game's concerned, you have any thoughts? The Packers were pretty good now.
Packers are pretty good. I feel like they're it's getting to the point where they're being a little overhyped. Like, I get that Jordan Love was a lot more impressive last year. It looks like he's coming on as like a real franchise quarterback. And they have some decent weapons. But I mean, if you go down position for position, I'll take the Eagles at most of them. I still think the Eagles on paper are definitely the better team. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to like come out and win. It's the first game with about 2 new coordinators. Could be a lot of there could be some sloppiness. A lot of things could go wrong. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think people are getting a little carried away with the Packers hype.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on that. I was looking at some stats from the end of last season. So people are excited about the offense. They're excited about Jordan Love, understandably so. Last year, the Packers finished, 13th in DVOA, which is slightly above average, right? But offensively, they were 6th. And a lot of that was towards the end of the year where they really started to pick up steam and gain momentum. So yeah, a lot of that's Jordan Love. You got to remember, Aaron Jones was in that backfield last year. He ain't there no more. Yes, they got Josh Jacobs, but he seemed kind of washed last year, right?
And A.J. Dillon's out for the year.
And he's been kind of washed the last couple years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that offense isn't great. They have a bunch of young, up-and-coming receivers. Romeo Dobbs. What's my man's name? Watson.
Wicks.
Oh,
Christian Watson.
Watson, Tavian Wicks, right?
Yeah.
And then they got the tight end, Musgrave. But all of these guys are unproven. They're just as prone to a sophomore success to a sophomore slump, right? So I do think that offensively the Packers are probably going to take a step back. Scouting reports are going to catch up to them a little bit. But at the same time, I don't know how much I trust the Eagles' offense. But here's the thing. The Packers last year finished 27th in defensive DVOA.
Yeah.
And then, even worse, 31st in special teams DVOA. So, yeah, to your point, a lot of people are hyped because of their offense. The rest of their team isn't really that much to write home about.
Yeah.
And I understand they probably made some improvements. I haven't looked at their whole roster. But they didn't finish. They finished the year on a high note because they beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. Yeah. Anyone beats the Cowboys in the playoffs.
I feel like that's where a lot of it is coming from. Because like, not only did they beat them, but they like fucking walloped them. In
Anyone
game.
Beats the Cowboys like that in the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's like at the end of the day, that's just one game. Happened to be a big game because it was the fucking playoffs. But, you know, gotta look at the totality of the situation. I mean, I think I don't want to like get too like going the other way. They are a good team. I think they're gonna compete for that division this year. They'll be like, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, I think at one point I said they were gonna win the division. I'm probably backing off that a little bit, but yeah, I mean they'll probably be a playoff contender. That's for damn sure. I just like you said, I think the hype is premature. All that being said, I did draft Jordan Love in our league. So I'm kind of hoping he plays well, even if the Packers maybe aren't all they're cracked up to be by the NFL nerds and hipsters. Yeah. But I'm excited to have football back, dude. Who's the first game? It's the Ravens and the Chiefs on Thursday.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Then we play Friday. A Friday night game is going to be weird. That's a weird vibe.
Yeah, it's like a high school game. Friday night lights, baby.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't mind it.
The NFL should. They'll be eventually get to the point where there's a game every night.
There's a game every day. Yeah. I mean, like, Friday's cool. I mean, well, the problem with the Friday is they got to compete against college because there's college games on Friday.
Good point. And Saturdays during college football season,
right?
They're not going to do that. They're not going to compete against college.
If anything, we'll have Tuesday and Wednesday games like in the COVID season.
Which those were random cool.
Ass like Wednesday
that.
games
especially
in the
before
afternoon.
NBA and NHL came back. I liked that.
Yeah,
Gives you something to watch.
That was weird, but yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it. Made like, well, I think that year we like didn't even do our fantasy league because it was like we knew it was going to be a shit show.
I did one fantasy league that year. It was bad.
I think I had like maybe one, and it was just like a fucking mess.
Yeah, you'd have dudes catching COVID and the whole team gets COVID and half the team's out. Yeah, that was the year. The one league I was in, we didn't even play for money that year. We just played for fun.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But, all right, yeah, I guess we can go to, you got a score, I got a score prediction. You got one? Want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right, so line on this game is Eagles minus 2.5. Kind of to our point, the Eagles have a better roster overall. The Packers, they have some noteworthy players in key positions. The Eagles, up and down, are a better roster. I think the Eagles are going to get blitzed a ton. I mean, we saw last year, Hurts couldn't beat a blitz to save his life.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that was Hurts versus how much was that was the offensive play calling. No one really knows, right? What I do know is in the last game that they played against the Packers, Hurts torched him. He was 16 for 28 for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns, which that's not that great, right?
Yeah, I remember that game. He was running all over him, too.
Yeah, so here's what happened.
He ran for like 150 yards that game.
Yeah, 17 carries for 157 yards.
Yeah.
And the field was wide open.
Oh, yeah.
Like they must have gone into that game thinking, yeah, we're going to man up on A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, which, yeah, it makes a lot of sense if your quarterback's a statue that can't run. But if you're playing man coverage and they're running deep routes every time no one's anywhere near the quarterback, he looks up, he has 20 yards to run. So I think they're going to overcorrect and they're going to blitz too much this time.
Yeah.
So then what happens is Hurts is getting that ball out quick.
Get some screens out to Saquon.
Yep, getting screens out to Saquon, to Goddard, to all the receivers. We're seeing some quick routes, some quick game that the Eagles weren't really good at last year. I think the Eagles are going to be able to put up points. I also think the Packers are going to be able to put up points. I mean, we're talking about an Eagles defense that, outside of Slay, is relatively unproven in the secondary. Well, no, CJ/GJ's solid when he's healthy. But, I mean, outside of Slay, the cornerbacks aren't really proven.
Yeah.
The Packers are going to sling that ball a little bit. So I think it's going to be a close game. Be fairly high scoring. I think the Eagles cover and win 25-21. And come back to Philly 1-0. Is that what you were thinking?
I was going to say 24-21.
Hey, yeah, I mean, that's a cover.
Yeah. 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Yeah, so I'm feeling good. I think the post-game pod for McCuskers, our first live post-game pod, or not live.
Not live, but
our first post-game pod from a place other than your basement.
Than my house, yeah.
Or your house. We're going to be feeling good, feeling happy, feeling liquored up. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get a bottle of 99 bananas. I've brought bottles of 99 bananas into there before and drank them there.
Yeah, I think we did that before. I don't know if we're supposed to, but
it's for the pod, dude. They'll be excited. We're doing a live show.
Yeah.
We'll liven the crowd up.
Yeah, come out to McCuskers on Friday to watch next Friday to watch the Eagles Packers game.
You could go there tomorrow, but we won't be there.
Yeah, go there anytime.
You should always support McCuskers.
Yeah.
But, all right. And then I guess overall, how are you feeling about the season?
Pretty good. I feel like there could be some sloppiness in the beginning of the season, trying to figure some stuff out with, you have 2 new coordinators, a lot of, it's a lot of changes. You have Kelsey's not there anymore. The secondary is very, some new guys there. But yeah, I feel good about the pieces that they have, and I feel good about the coaching staff that they have now. So, yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel good about them being able to win that division. We'll see what happens with the rest of the league, if they can get up there and possibly compete for, the 1 seed. I don't know. I guess as of now, I guess the Lions and the Niners are probably more favorites for that, but
which I don't get the Lions.
I think the Lions are another team that's being overhyped.
Oh, for sure. Jared Goff is not as good as people are making him out to be.
Yeah, and they had I feel like they had some unsustainable efficiency.
Plus, they had a cake schedule.
Yeah, and now they're gonna have a hard one.
Yeah, they're gonna have a first place schedule.
Yeah,
I ain't scared of them.
Nah, I'm not I would bet on the Eagles finishing record-wise above the Lions if I had to bet, but yeah, no, I feel pretty good. I'm excited for the year. I like all the acquisitions that they made through the draft. I'm excited to see Quinyon Mitchell out there, Cooper DeJean, Jahan Dodson. I feel like they overall have a stronger roster. It's hard to say because, losing Kelsey is a huge, but I think that offensive. If there was a guy of that stature that you're going to lose, you'd want it to be on the offensive line because it's like
Sure,
that they
yeah.
have the ability to coach up their offensive line, and that's like a pretty reliable position group for them. So I'm not like as worried about it if like if they have like a Hall of Fame I don't know, like cornerback or wide receiver that retired.
Like if A.J. Brown retired, I'd be much more concerned.
Then it'd be a bigger blow. But I feel good about I mean Cam Jurgens has proven to be a pretty good player. I don't expect him to completely fill those shoes, but I feel good about the team. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to have a really fun offense this year. I'm excited to see the different kind of flavor that Kellen Moore brings to the offense. I'm excited to see Jalen Hurts throw in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And other wide receivers actually run some different routes and not just, try to be constantly throwing out routes to the, to the edges and,
running 4 verts over and over on 3rd and long.
Yeah. And then having like a running back that can do a lot for you, be effective in the passing game, all that. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Going to be a good year, I think.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I agree. I have a couple concerns. One of them being this. Have you listened to, Shield did a couple Philly special episodes recently? Have you listened to?
I don't think I have lately.
So he cited this on a recent pod. If you look at the betting markets, the Eagles have roughly the same odds to get to the Super Bowl at plus 550 as they do to win 7 games or fewer at plus 540.
Interesting.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
So
it's a wide range of outcomes.
So yeah, he's kind of said he has no idea what to expect. This is the most.
I mean, there's a lot of new things about the team, so I can understand the wide range of outcomes thing. Like it could be really good, could also be a disaster depending on how things fall.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of touches on in this article on The Ringer. It's a really good article where he talks about 5 questions surrounding the team. Number 1 is Nick Sirianni. I don't feel too great about that one. Number 2 is which Jalen Hurts do we get? I think we're going to get a good Jalen Hurts. Number 3 is how do things work with Vic Fangio? Oh, I think Vic Fangio is going to be the man, dude. I'm excited for a Vic Fangio offense.
Yeah, or defense.
Or defense, I'm sorry. Number 4 is Jalen Carter. I think he's going to take that next leap.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a monster on the D-line. I forgot what number 5 was as I'm rattling them off. I want to say number 5 is something to do with Kellen Moore, which I think Kellen Moore is going to be a solid offensive coordinator. So certainly the Nick Sirianni thing could be of large concern, but I think the good outweighs the bad. And yeah, I mean, if you look around the NFC East, who are we scared of? The Cowboys? Yeah, they did sign CeeDee Lamb. They extended him. But, I mean, their roster is pretty bad. Deron Bland, their star cornerback, he's going to be out for like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
They're in trouble, dude. I think Washington, I've been on this. Here, I will say it right now. I do need a 99 bananas bet going into the season. If Washington finishes with a better record than the Cowboys at the end of the season, I'll do 2 shots of bananas on that pod when the season's over.
Yeah. Does that mean like you think that's going to happen?
Yes, I do.
Those are celebratory shots.
Yes,
because the Cowboys. I lost a bet.
Yeah,
shot.
because the Cowboys will have been worse than Washington. I'll celebrate that.
I see what you're saying. Yes. I think it could happen. I mean, I guess the vibes around the Cowboys have been a little bit repaired because they did finally get CeeDee Lamb that deal. Mm. But I mean, I still feel like it's like, I don't know, the fact that it drug out this far is still kind of like, I don't know. And they still have some holes. Their running back group, it looks pretty putrid.
Dude, they signed Dalvin Cook, so they have the 2 most washed running backs.
Yeah, it's going to be if Rico Dowdle takes off. I do have him on one of my teams, but
maybe I should draft him in my draft on Monday.
Yeah. But yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Washington took a step up and Dallas took a step down.
Yeah, I think that's happening.
Yeah.
But all right.
I mean, hey, if you listen to fucking sports genius Nick Wright, he'll tell you that the Cowboys are going to finish first. And
he said that?
He said that his prediction for the NFC East was Cowboys first, Washington second, Eagles third, and then Giants.
What?
He's clear, dude. That dude is just like trying to do the Stephen A. hot take thing, but without any of the charisma or the pizzazz or like.
Stephen A. got that riz, dude.
He's just coming up with just these ridiculous takes to try to get engagement or whatever. Whereas like Stephen A. is a true artist.
Yeah, it's just from the heart with him.
Yeah, like anyone can come up with a ridiculous thing to say, like, oh, the fucking I don't know, the Raiders are gonna win the AFC. Like anyone can say some insane shit. But like you got to have like the gravitas and the performance and like he doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
You're not. I'm sorry, Nick Wright. You're never gonna be like Stephen A. Just stop it. You're just a goofy guy with weird hair. Just stop it. No more.
Yeah, Stephen A. just has that energy to him.
Yeah.
Like there's just there will never be another. I'm not saying he's dead or anything. I don't.
Yeah, it is a dying art. Yeah. It's a dying art.
Yeah,
so,
I'm trying to think of who else is really good at it.
Yeah, there's not a lot. I mean,
Skip Bayless, for all his flaws, some of his takes do make me laugh. I'm not laughing with him, though.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at him. Whereas Stephen A., a lot of the times, I'm laughing with him because of some of the stuff he says and does.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe. Yeah, there aren't really many people good at that anymore.
Yeah. It's,
I can't think of one.
No.
Bill Simmons, I tend to just
Bill
disregard.
Simmons is kind of, but I feel like he's up there because he's also a guy who, says like outlandish shit, but is 100% sincere. I don't like.
That's true. He just doesn't have that the energy and the charisma. Though
I think he honestly believes everything that he says, but it's just
he's just so just.
But it's he doesn't have
boring.
He doesn't have the presentation and
that's it. Yeah,
and the stage presence. And the gravitas that a Stephen A. does. Stephen A. just has all of the elements.
Yeah.
That like a lot of people have like one of these things. Like they have the crazy takes, or they have the sincerity, or they have the, they have like the performance and the gravitas without the other thing. Like Stephen A. is the only one that like puts it all together in one package. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's just like not a lot of those dudes anymore.
That should be us.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, that'll be us. We'll be on ESPN.
Yeah.
You and me just Pat would be the guy to be on First Take, dude.
Yeah.
Although they'd have to censor the hell out of Pat, though.
Yeah, he wouldn't last too long with the...
There needs to be a non-regulated version of some of these shows. Could you, I guess it's a podcast.
It's kind of a podcast thing.
But they need to be on TV. But I'm not talking Pat McAfee, like stupid, like bro humor. I mean... like a legit good podcast where they talk about sports, but you have someone screaming about Derek Hall and his thumbs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need that energy on TV. That'll keep people watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically what we're saying is that ESPN, all the other major networks need to be more like us.
Yeah, we don't need to be like them. We're not trying to be like them. We do
they
not
need to
want
be more
to be
like
them.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about this Eric Adams? Did you see this?
Oh, the Eric Adams.
Him.
The big drug bust?
Yeah, picking up weed with a claw.
Dude, that's so funny. Like, it's always a funny scene when the police make these drug busts and they make a big show of it where they display all of the drugs on the big table. And it's just like, this is, we busted, we got like 1/1000th of the drugs that pass by this area and every day, and we're gonna make a big show of it and pretend like we're accomplishing something. But to do that for weed is so
of
funny.
All things.
It's like, dude, I can buy that shit at a store.
Right. Like, I understand some of it could be laced, and you want to get that off the street.
Sure, yeah. But I mean,
dude, it's just such an unnecessary use of time. Resources,
dude, the best was
money.
when he was walking up to the podium.
Well, when he
picked up the bag,
when he sniffed the bag,
it was like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. And then put it down.
Are you telling us something we don't know about you, dude?
Yeah, Eric Adams is hilarious. I mean, I'm sure he's not a very good mayor, but he's very funny.
Yeah, I think I was watching a video where he gets into the, not the crane. Yeah, I guess it is the crane. He gets into the crane and scoops up a whole bunch of weed, like a whole bunch of big bags, like garbage bags of weed with the crane. And he drops him into a furnace. And apparently later he said in an interview it was a childhood dream. So you mean to tell me you've been dreaming?
It was always a dream for me to drive a big...
right? To drive a crane and
like
scoop up bags of weed.
Like crane and... Yeah.
What a ridiculous thing, man.
He was probably just doing that so he could breathe in all that air afterwards. If you drive it all into a furnace... He was hotboxing the... I don't know, the furnace room.
Yeah, if you dropped 4 tons of weed into a furnace and you just sat there and smoked, like,
it was indoors.
It was. Yeah,
I don't know where this happened.
I don't know if it was.
It looked like the press conference thing was outside.
But I mean, you might still be able to get a little bit of a high, though.
Yeah.
He had a big straw. He probably has been smoking weed all along, dude. Why do you think he walked up and sniffed the bag? He was probably like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was a spectacle.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's been his entire mayorship, though. He loves a spectacle.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not my mayor.
Eric Adams or
Sherelle Parker.
America's mayor. Yeah.
I'm not choosing either one of them, but I don't really have a choice. I guess I did have a choice, and I voted for Sherelle Parker.
I mean, she was always going to win. Yeah. Is what it is. But I guess that'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review after you get a podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace. And hip-hop says bye, too.
Yeah.